Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on this video. This is David Pendleton, and today we're going to be covering Golf Impact Fiji Championship qualifying round for the amateur division. If you're following along with me, keep in mind I'm going to be hanging out in amateur division for quite a while, making sure that we're able to cover walkthroughs for every single course out there, and hopefully maybe a couple different times so we can get different wind angles to help everybody out. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. You'll see that I'm keeping Golf Impact stuff very neatly organized in the playlist section of my channel, which is where you can really find anything that I do, to be honest. All right, so Fiji tournament, this course is pretty darn difficult. I'll be honest here, this minus 13, pretty lucky. Well, I say lucky, but you never know. Maybe I was dialed in. I don't know. I did miss a putt on hole number 9 to give me a birdie. So, we could have had a minus 14, but with games like this, we have to take the good with the bad, and missing a putt is bad. Darn it. But that's all right. I'm very happy with this score. Let's go into hole number 1. Again, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. Let's go. Hole number 1, we're going to use a clover ball. We're just using this clover ball because you see here we get a wind resistance minus 20, and we're getting headwind, so we would like to reduce the wind. Now, we don't really need to use anything more powerful than that, especially in a qualifying round. But here you're going to see we're able to go with quite a bit of overpower with a little bit of curl to the right. That's about half a ball of curl. And, here it's a pretty controlled overpower shot because we're not at maximum distance of our driver. It's always a little trick in games like this. If you don't go at max distance, you can get some nice controlled overpower. This is going to leave us here for shot number 2. Shot number 2. We're going to be playing it here. You see I'm getting caught in between clubs. I have my wedge, and then I have my short iron. Ultimately, what I decided to do after flipping back and forth is I decided to take it with my short iron. I do go full backspin, and as you can see here, even at full backspin, my ball guide line is jumping over the hole. I hit a perfect ball. I was hoping the headwind would knock me down a little bit, and it sure did. We got a really nice, consistent roll instead of skipping over the hole. But we just missed that one there to the left-hand side, so make your minor tweak. And as you can see, hole number 1 is a droppable hole for an eagle. Hole number 2, this one's going to really hurt a lot of people. I know it. We're going to be using a basic ball in qualifying. We might move this up to a different type of ball, maybe a clover in the opening and or final round, but we'll see. But as you can see here, we're aiming a little bit right of the hole after applying our top spin, short and right. So what we're going to do is make our wind adjustment. And then from here, you can notice here I'm using about half a ball of curl to the right. I'm sorry, to the left. Half a ball of curl to the left. Now it is raining, so that's going to deaden the ball. But man, we come really close on hole number 2 as well. And I would consider this one a pretty difficult par 3. So hole number 1, hole number 2, we're right there at pin. So those might be makeable, for you. Hole number 3, this one is going to be a par 5. We're going to be using the rose ball here. We just want this +4 power is nice. Now, if you're somebody who wouldn't mind using maybe a super rookie or even a SPICA ball, I think that would be even better on this hole. But here, 4 miles an hour, so we adjust exactly 2 rings. Remember, the general rule of thumb, every 2 mile per hour equals 1 ring pull. Here, we're going with half a ball of curl to the left. Hitting perfect is going to be extremely crucial on these par 5s. So if you're not confident in your ability to hit perfect, make sure you don't use as much overpower. Now, if you don't use as much overpower, then you may have a harder time making it to these greens in 2 shots. Because you're going to see here, this shot here is not easy. We're getting 6 miles per hour, a little bit of headwind. So you take note of my spin adjustments. I'm going full right. Notice I'm using some backspin as well. At this point here, it's going to be all about using overpower and curl. So you can kind of take a look here. Really not much overpower, I guess. But we're using a little bit of curl outside of the adjustment window. So when I say the adjustment window, if you pull your finger straight down for a normal shot, That round circle there, that's your adjustment window. We pull one arrow outside of that, and you can see the little arrows on the graphics. This puts us onto the fairway in which we have to chip in for the eagle save. Pretty easy chip in though. We do hit it in for eagle, and we move on to hole number 4. We are going to be using the SPICA ball here because of the headwind. I do believe that the wind angles stay the exact same from from qualifying round to opening round to final round. So, don't get too upset with yourself if you don't have the best qualifying round. Just kind of take note of the balls you used and kind of just jot down notes of what went wrong and what went well so that you can make those little minor adjustments as the tournament goes. But here you can see the SPICA ball gives us plenty of juice to get onto the fairway, leaving us with our second shot. Second shot at pin here. As I'm playing with my short iron, if you have different clubs, it might be different for you. But overall, it's really just about seeing if the wind mile per hour stays true and how the green plays. Your club, my club, doesn't matter. We just got to learn from how the ball reacts when it touches down onto the green and figure out how the ball rolls, etc. A lot of perfect shots today, so I'm happy about that so that you can kind of see how these things play. So you'll notice here that the speed is very good, and when I say speed, that means whatever spin adjustments that I applied, top spin or back spin, we came in at a perfect speed to the hole. So if we would have adjusted our rings differently, this ball would have gone in. So we just over-adjusted a little bit to the right, so just keep mind of that on this hole. This is going to take us into my best shot, probably of any tournament so far that I've played. This is only my 3rd tournament, but we're using a clover ball on the par 3. You can see there I went with full top spin, full side spin to the left. I am going with a rough bump here. Now take a look at my ball guideline. It's pointing right down the seam of where the dark green and the light green squares meet, where they touch each other. We hit a perfect ball, and in no way, shape, or form did I expect this thing to go into the hole. I just wish this was in the final round so that we could get that huge drop right there. That's one of my most exciting shots so far in Golf Impact, picking up the hole-in-one. Again, which was the final round, but we'll absolutely take it 100%. All right, next hole is going to be played with the SPICA ball again. Here, I thought about going over the sand trap, which I probably think is the better play. But as you can see, I lined up right of the sand trap just like that. Now I'm using overpower, and I'm using 2 arrows of curl to the left. So you see those little arrows down there? So if you count them, there's a dot in the middle, and then an arrow, arrow, arrow. So I'm actually using 3 arrows of curl. And that's how I will refer to things moving forward. We could even use more because we like to be up higher and more left on this fairway. So what we're going to have to do is really swing this ball over to the right-hand side, which means big curl coming up, right? Now look at all this curl. That is maximum curl. I've not done that yet in the game. We do hit the perfect ball, though. And you're going to see this thing come through really nice, actually, to get us right here onto the fringe, leaving us for a very short chip-in shot for our eagle. And we do pick it up here. I decided to go ahead and go with the full top spin approach. Full top spin ball guideline going through the hole. 4.2 miles an hour means we're going to move this one just over 2 rings like that. Great ball, but hey, we got lucky with the great ball in the hole. We'll take it. I could see this hole giving people some problem in the rain and in headwind. I really don't like having to use a VEGA ball on a par 4, but, I just think this is one that we need to do it on. I like to treat these types of balls as premium balls and save them for when we move up to professional and later tournaments where the wind angles get even harder. But, it's kind of important that we just pick the best ball that we can for each hole, and this is going to be the ball in my opinion. I should have went with some right curl, but we roll into the rough. But that's okay. Because check this out. Here, I didn't screen record, so I had to go back and look at my replays. Here I'm in the rough. We got this long iron polar bear club. But here, watch what I do. I go with some topspin. And at this point, I just kind of have to visualize, okay, what's going to happen, you know, with my ball guideline here. Look how rolly the green is. So I decide, before I pull my rings, you know, I'm like, you know what, I better take a little bit of topspin off. So you see here, I go with about 2 bars of topspin. I make my ring pull, hit a perfect ball, and wouldn't you know it, this ball goes into the hole too, pretty much dead center for an eagle. So like I said at the beginning, I feel pretty lucky with my round, but overall you can see that this course is playing pretty difficult with all the headwind. Now we go into our last par 3 of the qualifying round. Basic ball again here. Nothing special. I've got my long iron out. I'll be applying full topspin with the Polar Bear 2. And then from here, again, it's all about visualization. Like, what do I think is going to happen based off my history with this club? How does the ball guideline roll? It's a lot to remember, but that's why I'm doing this for you, so that you can see how this plays out. Here I make my ring pull. I went with a tad curl to the left-hand side. I should have not done that. I should have just took a straight-up shot, because this ball comes in way to the left-hand side as it was anyways. But this green, as you can see here, it does start to slope and roll to the right. So when you take a look at this camera angle, we didn't really miss by much, but we'll take the very short putt for the birdie on that one. This is going to take us to hole number 9. I know this hole is really going to kill people. You're going to see people gambling, going for that shot right there. You might see people end up in the water. You're going to see people end up in the rough and really have a hard time picking up an eagle on this hole. For me, you know, I'm going with this rose ball again. I do like the rose ball quite a bit. It's got nice, you know, the +4 power, minus 10% wind resistance. We don't want to go with a lot of wind resistance. That's why I chose this ball over a Clover, because the Clover has minus 20 wind resistance. Here we're getting tailwind. We want to keep that wind to our favor. I'm going with about half of a ball of overpower. That means half of my ball is in the target window, and half of it is outside the target window to the bottom. Really seemed like a good amount, as, you know, I'm good to sit right here. I don't need to get too greedy with the drive. And that'll take us into our next shot. Shot number 2 here. Play with our wood club. The only thing I did wrong here was the side spin is good. The only thing I did wrong was add top spin, okay? Now, I still land on the green. I should have went with no top based off where I was at on my drive. But again, it's a visualization thing. It's hard to do. You see right here, we go past the cup. Very close for an albatross there. Just missed to the right. We roll back down, and what do you know? This is the putt that I missed right here. So like I said, we take the good with the bad. Hey, let me know in the comments, you know, how you're doing. Let me know what you think about this course, as I think it's very challenging. And I do wish you the best of luck, and then I will see you late on Thursday for the next round walkthrough. Thank you, everybody.